Amun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shalom alechem. Ami agape. Saib chipanaye tudas tareg. Saib chipanaye ayawiya. Amun. Peace to you. What's the science? Whenever I go into a courtroom situation, I analyze everything that I'm going to say before I have to say it. You're an idiot if you don't. So sometimes when I'm preparing for a case, now I'm not a lawyer. I'm the consul of the Tudus Tarek Nation of Moors on the earth. But when I go into a courtroom situation, whether it be to regard one of my people or myself, I like to write out a speech, or not necessarily a speech, but a dialogue. And I do this so that I can prepare and say, oh, okay, the judge might say this, or I need to say this, or I might need to not say that. And it's not necessarily about manipulating the law. You can't manipulate the law, or I mean, you can, but it's not about that. It's about making sure your rights are appropriately and properly preserved at all times. That's what this is about. Being who you are is important. I'm going to show you why it's important. So going back to me setting up a dialogue, when I set up this dialogue, I consider the words I'm going to use. And in this dialogue, I might say something like, oh, I'm going to begin by saying I'm this person. And then I stop and I say, oh man, what does person mean in a law situation? So we turn to the Black's Law Dictionary. And of course, you can use the Wesley's Dictionary of Law, but most people generally use the Black's Law Dictionary. And I suggest going in a courtroom with the Black's Law Dictionary and your dialogue, and it'll help you look more professional. And me personally, I speak to thus. So I'm going to start out speaking to thus so the judge understands, oh, this is a national person. And I'm going to understand from the jump, he may have a national concern. Understand? Anyway, oh man, what kind of person am I? Oh man, should I say person? We're going to discover if we should. Person. This is page 1142 of the Black's Law Dictionary. I have it right here so you guys don't think I'm fooling you or something like that. My camera's a little goofy acting, so I don't know if you can see the definition, but it is in the facts right there. There it is right there. And I'll hold it up for a second so you guys can freeze the camera so you can see it if you like. 1 second. All right, I'm going to read it. In general usage, a human being, i.e. natural person, though by statute term may include labor organizations, that's not a human being. Partnerships, is that a human being? Associations, oh man. Ooh. Corporations, whoa. We can make, well, I won't stop right there. I want you guys to have the full understanding as much as possible. Corporations, legal representatives, trustees in bankruptcy, or receivers. CEG National Labor Relations Act, Decision 2, parentheses 1, 29 USCA Decision 152, Uniform Partnerships Act Decision 2. And I'll go into the second item just a little bit. Scope and delineations of a term is necessary for determining those to whom 14th Amendment of Constitution affords protection, since the amendment expressly applies to person. Right away, I noticed something. One, a person can also be a corporation. So all of that due diligence people have performed and discovered that a person on your driver's license is not you, it's an actual corporation. The whole parentheses thing. Here's a little bit of what you can delve into about it right here. This is where you start. This is the beginning, in which case you have to draw your own conclusion about what is useful to you and what is not useful to you. I'm looking at the plant over here. His name is George. Peace and love. Talk to my plants, It's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I noticed is the beginning of the second item. Scope and delineation of term is necessary for determining those to whom 14th Amendment of Constitution affords protection. It's important to know what kind of person you are. Not your morality, not your religion, not your humanity. Are you a corporation? Are you an association? Are you this? Are you that? Or not? This is clearly important. Why is it important? That's what you have to figure out on your own. Do your own due diligence. I'm not an answer giver, but I'll guide the way for you. I'll aid you and I'll assist you so that you can walk with me. Anyway, moving on. The next thing, I believe there was something else I also noticed. Force protection under the 14th Amendment expressly applies to person. The 14th Amendment is the amendment that goes into a corporation also allowing to be a person. And this kind of went into the whole idea that corporations also have rights, because only people can have rights. So now, if a corporation is counted as a living being, it can also too have rights. And I want you guys to do a little bit of homework. Go into find some cases and find out why it is important or it is not important. Form your own conclusion why it's important or not important for a corporation to have its own rights. And when I say rights, I mean like a living, breathing person. Those kind of rights. You know. Anyway, that's it for now. That's all I need from you guys. Find out who you are and what's important and what's not important. And then make honest discernments about it. And then move forward and apply yourself. Amun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ami Lele. Nisi na natahahnah tuda se tareg. Se ipchipana ya yawi ya yamasi. Peace and love. Amun.